It seems fresh, but it's already 1 year that the elder statesman, Chief Rasheed Gbadamosi, passed on.
I do not believe that he is no more, because I still feel him around me, and I still think of him every minute, and I still see him in my dreams regularly. Sometimes when I see an event happening, I will just forget for a moment that he was no more. I will say, when I get home, I will go and tell Rasheed this. But then I realize that, there's no more Rasheed I can talk to.
The 16th of November 2016, that was the exact date I knew he was gone. My mom didn't want to tell me that day because she thought that I'll be in tears. I found out the next day on my way to school. He shall continue to rest in peace.
While he's resting in peace, his family and friends are here to pray and reflect on his virtues.
You can only serve 2 terms as a president, but in his own time, he did so well for the club that we have to extend his tenure to 3 terms. We are missing very, very much. He will be well missed, not only in the family, not only in the club, but throughout Nigeria.
My thinking was that I will have to die before him because I'm older than him. God giveth, God do anything, and the family I had to be there as long as I'm alive.
After the prayers and unveiling of his tomb in his home in Ikorodu, more guests came for the memorial service the next day at his Ikoyi residence.
He's a very good man. He's a philanthropist. So he's also a helper.
Chief Gbadamosi served Lagos State and the nation.
To say that we miss Rasheed is an understatement. We feel that an essential part of Muzon has been lost. Nevertheless, we take pride in the fact that he achieved so much in his lifetime, because apart from his role in Muzon, he was a very well-known playwright, a very erudite economist who contributed so much to our society, also as a federal minister. Rasheed was a very special human being.
He was an industrialist, chairman of many companies, astute art collector, a culture enthusiast, and playwright.
He was so committed to this country. One of the commitments he had to this country, in which I was involved, was his response to the federal government policy as to cassava, making cassava 10% of all baking products, wheat products in Nigeria. I mean, he went to the extent of investing heavily in a cassava flour processing plant. And he lost some investment in the process because that policy was not followed through by the federal government. There are many times I told him, excuse sir, you're always overconfident. He was very confident about Nigeria. And I'm not too sure whether his hurried exit from this world was not a result of the disappointment of this country.
1 year has gone by without the man she was married to for more than 4 decades.
He was a wonderful husband to me. He protected me, loved me with all his heart. Although sometimes I felt that if he loved me sincerely, he wouldn't have done some of the things he did. But then I got to know that human beings have different characteristics, and I make room for individual differences in human beings. And whatever he did, I know he did it because he could not help himself, not because he wanted to hurt me intentionally.
His children describe him as an unforgettable dad.
There's almost no day that I don't think about him and think about all the hard work that he did to get us to where we are today. And I think the greatest legacy that I can give him is to kind of stand on his shoulders on what he has achieved and take that further.
Well, it's been a very tough year for me. On many occasions, I've actually missed him. I've missed his counsel. I've missed his encouragement. I've missed that stern, business-like explanation that he always gives us and advice that he always gives us for life.
A year without him has been difficult. I'm not going to lie. There's been many instances where I would have wanted to just sit across the table from him and ask him what he thought, what he felt, what he thinks about the current situation, how things are going. 101 things I still want to ask him as I'm standing here with you right now, but he's gone, so I think you just have to learn to move on, I guess.
There's a lot going on within the family and even all over the world that I'm sure he would have had quite a strong opinion about. Yeah, I just miss him, you know, giving his opinion and his own view of the world and how he thinks problems can be solved or...
Life without my dad this past year has been an adjustment, but also a learning curve. Losing my dad was especially hard for me because I feel like there were so many conversations we never got to have, so many jokes we never got to share. And I really wish that we had more time together to just experience life. I love you, Dad. I miss you. And I'm so very proud and so very thankful that I could call you Dad.
It still feels unreal because times I see his picture or hear his name being mentioned. It just feels as if he's somewhere and that he'll probably come back.
It's such a pleasure to have known him at a point in my life that he always have your back regardless. He might shout, he might, be make you feel like, okay, just give me a break, but in his heart he's so loving.
His grandkids remember him fondly.
I really miss him. He was very wise. He was smart and intelligent. I would never know if he would die or not. But I know that if I go to Ikorodu and I see his grave, I'll always know that he died. So I never wanted him to die, but now he has died. All the things he has done for me were very kind, and since then I've been missing him so much.
Every time I come to Parkview or Ikorodu, first when I go to Ikorodu, I always see Granddad's wheel and his grandmother's wheel. Every time I go, I wandered up the place looking for Grandad, but I don't see him. If my mother or father would have told me that Grandad was dead, I wouldn't have known he was dead. Okay. And if Grandad was alive, I'll be so happy. But now that he's dead, I'm not that happy.
Late Chief Rasheed Gbadamosi was well loved whilst alive. He died on the 16th of November 2016 at the age of 73. He lives on in the minds of all.